All right, Deep Divers Sheet 109. We're moving right along. We have some word problems, and we love with the word problems. These are going to be easy. After all the work that we've done on these previous sheets, you guys are going to fly through these. It says each day a car wash used 4 2/4 gallons of soap. After 2 days, how much soap would they have used? Well, you could add on this, since it's just 2 days, you could just add 4 2/4 plus 4 2/4, but I don't want to do that. You can check your answer by adding. But let's multiply, right? We're going to multiply a mixed number times a whole number, right? I've got 4 2/4 times 2. Well, first step is I'm going to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. I do that by bottom times side plus top. We've done a lot of sheets like this. If you are not familiar with that, look at some of the earlier sheets, because we've definitely done a lot of this. So mixed number into an improper fraction, bottom times side plus top, that gives me 18 over 4. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18, 18/4 times 2. Now, we've talked about the fact that multiplying a fraction times a whole number, you can just multiply the top of the fraction times the whole number. The reason that you can do that is that you can write the whole number as a fraction, just putting it over 1. And then if you do top times top, bottom times bottom, that 1 doesn't really change the bottom of the other, so it doesn't have any impact. But here, if I do 18 times 2, I get 36. 4 times 1 is 4. Notice that didn't change the bottom, right? I could have just done 18 times 2 is 36 and put it over 4. But either way, I know that fractions are division problems. That means that 36 over 4 is the same as me asking myself how many 4s will fit into 36. Well, it turns out 9 exactly do, with nothing left over. Now, if I wanted to check my answer, 4 2/4 plus 4 2/4, well, that equals my whole number part plus my whole number part is 8, and my fraction part plus my fraction part equals 4/4. But of course, 8 and 4/4, well, 4/4 is 1, right? So 8 and 4/4 is actually the same as 9. So I double-checked my answer, got the same answer both ways. I think that's pretty good. But I think that you're better off on these to do them as multiplication problems, because multiplication is almost always going to be quicker than adding. It just so happened that this time all we were doing was multiplying times 2. When you're multiplying times 2, yeah, adding is just about as quick. But if you're doing it times something more than that, and especially if you're doing it, I see already this next problem has mixed number and mixed number. So let's check that one out. It says a baby frog weighed 3 2/7 ounces. After a month, it was 2 2/4 times as heavy. How much did the frog weigh after a month? That means we need to multiply 3 2/7 times 2 2/4. Because if I want to know what 2 2/4 times 3 2/7 is, times as heavy, this is how heavy it was. So times as heavy means 2 2/4 times 3 2/7. I need to multiply these. To multiply them, I'm going to convert them into improper fractions, then do top times top, bottom times bottom. 3 2/7, bottom times side plus top. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the top is 23 over 7. 23/7. I can go back the other way. I can think, oh, 7 fits into 23 3 times with 2 left over. That's what this means, 3 2/7. Here, bottom times side plus top. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So I get times 10/4. 23/7 times 10/4. 4 times 2 plus 2. That gives me 10 over 4. This, of course, will give me 230 over 28. Top times top, bottom times bottom. Now, these are both even. Now, I could have anticipated that because I know that I could have reduced this down to 5 over 2 ahead of time. But it doesn't matter which way you do it. You can reduce that 5 over 2 ahead of time, and then you get a smaller number, or you go ahead and multiply it, and then your first step of reducing them then is going to be to notice that they're both even and cut them in half. So half of 230 is half of 200 plus half of 30. That's 115. Over half of 28 is 14. Now, 14 is 7 times 2. So all I need to do to see if this can be reduced is to check to see if it can be reduced by 7 or 2, because the only things that will divide 14 are 7 and 2. And 115 can't be divided by 2 because it's odd. And if I think about sevens, I think, well, I know that 7 times 10 is 70. I know that 115 is 45 more than 70, because I know that 100 is 30 more than 70, and 15 is 15 more than that. Well, I know that 7 will go evenly into 42 or 48, but not 45. So I know this can't be reduced anymore, but I am going to change it into a mixed number just for practice. And so I think, okay, and then I think it will help me as well, because I want to know how much the frog weighed, and I don't really want it as an improper fraction. I want it in like a number of pounds, or a number of ounces, I'm sorry. So how many times will 14 go into 115? And this, I've noticed, is the kind of thing that can be really kind of challenging for a lot of students. What I always do is I think, well, 14 times 10 is 140. So I know that's too many. And then I think, well, half of 140 is 70. So I know that it's more than 5, less than 10. The reason I cut my 140 in half was to find out what 14 times 5 was. If 14 times 10 is 140, 14 times 5 will be half of 140. So I know it's more than 5, less than 10. So I think, well, a minute ago when I was checking to see if this could be reduced anymore, I realized that 115 is 45 more than 70, right? Well, that means that it goes in 10 times, and then 45. Well, how many times will 14 go into, oh, I'm sorry. I said 10 times, but I didn't mean 10 times. I got thinking. It goes in 5 times. And then I think, well, how many times will 14 go into 45? And I think, well, 14 plus 14 is 28. Then another 14, that's 42. That's really close. So I think 3. So it'll go in 5 times 14 is 70. 3 times 14 is 42. I need 3 14ths left. So this is going to be 8 and 3 14ths. That's one way to do it. You can double check your math then. 14 times 8, that's 10 times 8 is 80. 4 times 8 is 32. That's 112 plus 3. Sure enough, that's 115 14ths. I know some of that last little minute stuff there was from my mental math class. But you can come over here and do 14 times 8 like that. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3 is 112. And you can see that that's 8 and then 3 14ths to make 115 14ths. So that frog weighed 8 and 3 14ths ounces after a month. Okay, so that's what you do. That'll give you a chance to really work around a little bit with the skills that we've been developing. Check with me in class if you need more of an explanation. I think that should do it though. And I will catch you in the next video.